The house was unsettlingly quiet that afternoon, the kind of silence where even the faint hum of the refrigerator and the chirping birds outside felt magnified. I sat alone in the living room, absent-mindedly flipping through a magazine without actually reading a word. My husband, Ryan, was away on yet another business trip. By now, I was used to it. It had become routine. But for some reason, the emptiness felt heavier today, pressing down on me in a way it hadn't before. I glanced at my phone, hoping for a message, a missed call, anything. But the screen remained blank. The stillness only reinforced how predictable my life had become. Routine had morphed into a sense of security. But somewhere along the way, that security had turned into something suffocating. I loved Ryan, or at least I believed I did, but something between us had shifted over time. Passion had faded into comfort, and that comfort had slowly settled into complacency. A sudden sound broke through the quiet, a car door slamming shut. I peeked through the window and saw my nephew, Lucas, walking toward the house. Lucas was the son of Ryan's younger brother. I opened the door just as he reached the porch, his usual confident smile in place. "Hey, Lucas," I greeted, masking my surprise. "What brings you here?" He leaned against the doorframe, eyes gleaming with mischief. "Uncle Ryan asked me to pick up some documents he forgot," he said smoothly. "Hope I'm not interrupting anything." "Not at all. Come in." I stepped aside, and as he walked in, I noticed how effortlessly he moved, bringing an almost electric energy into the space. He tossed his bag onto the couch, his gaze sweeping across the room. "Nice place, as always." "You got great taste, Aunt," he said with teasing grin. I chuckled, shaking my head. "Flattery won't get you out of trouble. What papers are you looking for?" He shrugged. "Something about property documents, I think." As he disappeared into the study, I found myself lingering on a thought. How different he was from Ryan. Lucas was spontaneous, self-assured, and carried an easy charm that felt refreshing. It had been a long time since I'd been around someone like that. I shook off the thought, feeling ridiculous. He was family, after all. A few moments later, Lucas returned with the papers in hand, his sleeves rolled up, revealing a tattoo on his forearm. He caught me staring and smirked. "You like it?" he asked, amusement dancing in his eyes. "It's interesting," I replied, feeling a bit self-conscious. We ended up sitting down and talking, just casual conversation at first. But before I knew it, we were laughing, sharing stories. His tales were lively, humorous, a stark contrast to the monotony I'd grown used to. For a brief moment, I forgot everything. My husband, my responsibilities, the unspoken rules I'd been living by. It was just Lucas and me. As we talked, I noticed something else. He listened, truly listened. His attention didn't waver, and the way he looked at me, with genuine interest, was disarming, almost intoxicating. At one point, as he reached the glass of water on the coffee table, our hands accidentally brushed. The contact was fleeting, but it sent an unexpected jolt through me. I pulled back quickly, forcing a laugh, but I could feel the heat creeping up my cheeks. "Are you okay?" Lucas asked, his voice quiet, his gaze unreadable. "Of course," I answered too quickly, standing up in an attempt to put space between us. "It's just a little warm in here." I busied myself in the kitchen, willing the tension to fade. But even with the distance, I could still feel his presence. When I turned back, he was leaning casually against the doorway, watching me. "You seem different today," he murmured. I swallowed. "Different how?" He studied me for a long moment before replying, "I don't know, more alive." There was something sincere in his voice that made it impossible to brush off. For the first time in a long while, I felt seen, and that scared me. "Lucas, you should probably go," I said finally, avoiding his eyes. He didn't move. "Why?" "No reason. Just—" He stepped closer. "Just what?" His eyes searched mine, waiting for an answer I wasn't sure I could give. The air between us felt charged, thick with something unspoken. He was too close now, and my resolve wavered. "This isn't right," I whispered, more to myself than to him. Lucas's gaze softened, his voice steady. "I know, but doesn't it feel right?" I looked up at him, my heart pounding. The world outside ceased to exist, just for that moment. He reached out, his fingers brushing against mine, and I didn't pull away. The distance between us, the walls I had built, all seemed to crumble. Then, just as the tension reached its breaking point, the sound of the front door opening shattered the moment. I jumped back, heart hammering, as Lucas and I both turned toward the sound. Standing in the doorway was my nephew's cousin, Tyler. His expression was a mix of confusion and suspicion. "Hey!" Tyler said slowly, his eyes darting between Lucas and me. "Am I interrupting something?" "No, of course not," I said quickly, forcing a laugh that sounded hollow even to my own ears. Lucas was just leaving. He came to pick up some papers. Lucas, ever composed, flashed an easy grin. "Yeah, that's right." Tyler's brow arched, unconvinced. "Uncle Ryan asked me to come get the same papers." My stomach clenched. Lucas's excuse had just unraveled. "I think there's been a misunderstanding," I said, scrambling for control. "Lucas already has them. You don't need to be here." Tyler didn't move, his gaze lingering. "Funny," he mused. "He didn't mention you'd be here." Lucas merely shrugged, his relaxed demeanor unshaken. "Didn't think it mattered. We were just catching up. That's all." The words were innocent enough, but they carried an undertone. Something unsaid, something undeniable. Tyler seemed to catch it. His eyes flicked between us again, his expression unreadable. "Well, I'll let you two continue," he said finally. His tone clipped as he turned and walked out, leaving the door slightly ajar behind him. The silence that followed was deafening. I turned to Lucas, but his expression was impossible to read.